Did Mike Tyson and Jake Paul really fix their boxing match? That's the question shaking up the boxing world right now. A lawsuit has been filed accusing both fighters of staging their highly publicized bout, and if proven true, it could spell big trouble for both men. But how did we get here, and why are people so convinced this fight wasn't real?
Jake Paul's fights are 100% scripted. When Mike Tyson fought Jake Paul, he hit him with a strong right hand. Jake Paul then made this face to signal to Mike to calm down. He also made the same face when he fought Tyron Woodley. It literally looks like he's sending a signal. Jake Paul knocked Tyron Woodley out with a right hook. Tyron Woodley just so happened to faceplant, which is very unlikely. Tyron Woodley got knocked out in the perfect position to promote.
The allegations began swirling almost as soon as the fight ended. Now, these rumors have taken a serious turn with legal action accusing both Tyson and Paul of orchestrating the entire event for profit. If true, this could have huge consequences, not just for their careers, but for the sport itself.
What are you saying to the feedback on the fight?
You can clearly see Tyson was holding back his punches.
They just want me to lose. That's the only way they would have thought it was entertaining. And people are like, oh, it's rigged because look at him on the pads, but he didn't do this in the fight. Because someone is back, you dumb. People don't realize my power.
That is true.
And my jab and my speed and my ability and my footwork to get out of the way.
There were moments where he seemed to pull punches or hold back, something fans found strange for a man who built his career on being relentless. And Jake Paul, for all his bravado, didn't seem to be pushing the pace either. To critics, it almost looked like both fighters were just going through the motions.
I think a lot of people are happy, would be happier if he never does this again. Stephen A, you said he looked old. Yeah, he is old. He's 58. And there's a reason why you stepped away from the game 20 plus years ago. If you thought you still had that in you, you would have kept fighting. You said you didn't have that in you anymore. It was bad. It was bad. And Stephen A, I want to echo everything that you said. This man owes a lot. He had 8 transfusions, almost lost his life, lost 25 pounds. Kudos. But bro, when you step into the ring, we got to set that aside. We got to judge you on your performance. And that performance was pathetic.
But why would they do that? That's where the lawsuit comes in. The claim suggests the match was designed not as a real competition, but as a way to generate massive pay-per-view sales and split a huge payday. Tyson and Paul are accused of choreographing a fight that would draw millions of viewers while ensuring neither man got seriously hurt. It's a bold accusation, but for many fans, it lines up with what they saw in the ring.
Well, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, it's come out now. It was rigged. I can't believe it. You know, you have to question the validity of boxing these days when you can't trust 2 professionals to get in the ring and do their best against each other. And instead you find out Mike Tyson pulling his punches, not trying to hurt Jake Paul. Absolute disgrace. I thought better of them. You know, I really did. I thought that Mike Tyson, especially, Iron Mike, he was just going to go in there and knock Jake clean out. But here he is, not trying. I'm so disappointed in him.
Adding fuel to the fire is the stark difference between Tyson's training footage and his performance during the fight. In the weeks leading up to the bout, Tyson looked like a beast in the gym. Videos showed him throwing rapid, powerful combinations that reminded fans of his prime. But on fight night, that speed and intensity were nowhere to be seen. Some attribute this to his age. After all, Tyson is 58, but others think it's a sign the fight was scripted. They argue it's impossible for someone to look that sharp in training and then so flat in the actual match. Jake Paul isn't coming out of this unscathed either. Critics point out that Paul has faced accusations of rigging fights before, most notably after his knockout win against Tyron Woodley. His manager, Nakisa Badarian, has repeatedly denied these claims, saying Jake trains hard and earns his wins fair and square. But the whispers of fight fixing haven't gone away, and this lawsuit only adds to the suspicion surrounding Paul's career.
The only thing that bothers me is the continued kind of narrative and people saying the fight was rigged. I saw something from Michael Irwin. Irwin, was
the football player.
He was on the broadcast. He actually sat there with Jerry Jones. I saw something this week where he's like, oh yeah, I saw the contract and Mike couldn't throw an uppercut. Like, are you... I'm concerned that there's a CTE problem there for Michael Irwin, because how would you see the contract to begin with that, you know, Mike Tyson couldn't throw an uppercut? I mean, it's beyond lunacy and the realm of like just reality of life.
Still, there's another side to this story. Some argue the fight wasn't rigged. It was just a poorly executed exhibition. They point out that Tyson is almost 60, and expecting him to fight like he did in his 20s isn't realistic. As for Paul, he's still relatively new to boxing, and facing a legend like Tyson, even in an exhibition, was a tall order. According to this view, the match wasn't fixed. It was just a mismatch of expectations. But the lawsuit has opened a can of worms that won't be easy to close. Whether you believe the fight was staged or not, one thing is clear: this controversy is far from over. Tyson and Paul are now under the microscope, and the outcome of this case could have a lasting impact on their careers. Was it all just a clever way to make money, or was this a genuine fight that didn't live up to the hype? That's for the courts and the fans to decide.
Paul was fixed and why it was fixed. Listen, understand, it was a big nostalgia hit. It got our attention. It was a big financial promotion for everybody, and it actually worked. Now, the fight was absolutely terrible, and it feels like Paul was holding back his punches, and at times Mike Tyson was holding back punches. If these guys went full out on each other, right, it would look bad on Jake Paul for knocking out a guy that's twice his age, right? And it would look bad on Mike Tyson if he got knocked out as well. It would tarnish his legacy. Not only that, if Mike Tyson hit Jake Paul and knocked him out, it would ruin the legacy that Paul wants to leave as he continues to fight. He didn't want to tarnish that losing to a guy who's twice his age. So we'll look back either way. So to answer your question, 100% this was fixed. They sat it out and talked about it. It went to decision because that was a neutral way to end it, and it went the full 8 rounds to keep people entertained. They didn't want it to end quickly. 100%.
One of the most glaring moments was Tyson's apparent reluctance to go all out. During the fight, that there were points where he clearly had openings to land his signature punches, but didn't. For a man who built his career on knocking opponents out with devastating speed and power, this seemed unusual. Tyson's style has always been about aggression, going in hard and fast, aiming to end fights early. But in this match, that fire was missing. Take, for example, the 3rd round. Tyson seemed to let up when Jake left himself exposed after a misstep. In another era, Tyson would have pounced on that opportunity, but instead, he hesitated. Was this a calculated move to make the fight last longer, or was he simply holding back for some other reason? Fans started piecing together these clues, and the whispers of a staged fight turned into loud accusations. Some argued that the lack of heavy punches from both sides wasn't a coincidence, but a deliberate choice.
How wrong was I? I let my heart rule my head. I picked Mike Tyson to beat Jake Paul. Let's remember Mike Tyson, the warrior of old, not the old warrior that was in front of Jake Paul. Take nothing away from Jake Paul. I congratulate the young man on his win. I congratulate him on his courage. It takes so much courage to climb into the boxing ring, to fight anybody, let alone fight a legend.
The audience had been promised an unforgettable match, something worth the price of admission. Instead, what they got felt flat, leaving many to wonder, were these moments of hesitation and lack of action genuine, or was there something else at play? The footage tells a story, but whether it's a story of strategy or scripting is still up for debate. Before the fight, the buzz surrounding Mike Tyson and Jake Paul was electric. The promotional buildup had fans convinced they were about to witness something historic, and a big part of that hype came from Mike Tyson himself. His training clips went viral, showing him hitting pads with incredible speed and power, reminding everyone of the fearsome fighter he once was. People couldn't stop talking about how sharp and focused he looked, but as it turns out, the energy from those clips didn't carry over into the ring. Tyson's public appearances during the lead-up added more fuel to the fire. At the press conference, Tyson played up the tension with Jake Paul. He kept his answers short, staying quiet and reserved, almost cold. This wasn't the relaxed, joking Mike Tyson people were used to seeing in recent years.
He can say whatever he wants. And the ring is when the party begins. And we're gonna find out, can he party with the big boys?
And how does that party end?
Smashing.
And how do you think the fight will go on Friday night?
I think Jake's in a lot of trouble.
This strategy worked wonders for ticket sales. Everyone thought this was more than just an exhibition. It felt like Tyson was out to prove something. The buzz wasn't just about Jake Paul stepping into the ring with a legend. It was about Tyson potentially coming back, even at 58, and reminding the world who he was. The narrative was that this wasn't just a payday, it was personal. But was it? Some critics now believe these moments were staged, calculated to drum up interest and maximize profits. Tyson's cold demeanor and the slap at the weigh-in could have been carefully crafted moves to make the fight seem more intense than it really was. After all, creating a storyline of tension and bad blood guarantees more eyeballs, and more eyeballs mean more money. Even Jake Paul's responses played into the drama. He didn't back down during any of their face-offs, throwing playful but confident jabs at Tyson during interviews. Jake played his role perfectly, the cocky underdog who truly believed he could take on one of the greatest fighters in history. Then there were Tyson's training clips. People couldn't stop talking about how intimidating he looked in the gym. Videos of him throwing rapid combinations and moving with surprising agility painted the picture of a fighter ready to deliver a spectacular performance. Fans were convinced Tyson was back, even if just for one fight. But once the bell rang, that energy was nowhere to be found. The contrast between the build-up and the fight itself became one of the key reasons fans started questioning the authenticity of the entire event. All these moments, the cold press conference, the slap at the weigh-in, and the ferocious training clips set the stage for something extraordinary. But instead of living up to the hype, they left fans asking, were these moments genuine or just part of a carefully constructed show?
Day 4, it was okay, but you don't know what you got in store, baby. You got to face the God of War. And get ready, baby. Fire in the house.
Observers couldn't help but notice the stark contrast between Tyson's pre-fight demeanor and his performance. During the press events, he was intense, even slapping Jake Paul at the weigh-in, suggesting a personal grudge. Yet in the ring, that fire was absent. Some attributed this to his age, acknowledging that at 58, maintaining peak performance is challenging. However, others pointed to his recent training clips, where he displayed remarkable speed and power, questioning why that didn't translate into the fight.
I could genuinely tell the fight was rigged before Mike Tyson even was in the ring. If you watch closely, you can see in his facial expressions, he was like, I know I'm going to lose. And come on, that's not the Mike Tyson we know. I don't care about age. That's not his mannerisms. People are saying, come on, man, it won't be rigged. Mike Tyson won't do that. Mike Tyson's the type of guy to die for his legacy. He won't sell out. It won't be rigged. Brother, everything has got a price. If they put 30 M's in his face, said, yeah, man, just lose this fight. It won't count towards your record. It's calm. You think me like, no, I refuse to. I've got a leg to fight for. No, he won't do that. It was literally rigged. I feel it in my spirit.
Jake Paul's performance also raised eyebrows. While he landed more punches, many were light, lacking the force expected in a competitive bout. His cautious approach, especially against an older opponent, led some to believe he was holding back, possibly to avoid causing harm, or to ensure the fight lasted the full duration. The audience's reaction was telling. Boos echoed through the venue, a clear sign of disappointment. Fans had paid to see a clash of generations, a test of skill and will. Instead, they witnessed a match that felt more like a sparring session than a genuine contest. The lack of intensity and engagement left many feeling shortchanged. In the aftermath, discussions erupted about the fight's authenticity. Was Tyson's subdued performance a result of age? Or was there a deliberate effort to make the fight appear competitive without real risk? Did Jake Paul hold back out of respect, or was it part of a prearranged plan? These questions lingered, casting a shadow over what was supposed to be a marquee event.
I mean, you don't get no kudos about, oh, he's 58. No, that's not what this is. This was not some a celebrity. This was not for some charity. No.
The fight's outcome, a unanimous decision in favor of Jake Paul, did little to quell the controversy. For many, the result was secondary to the manner in which the fight was conducted. The perceived lack of effort and competitiveness from both fighters led to widespread speculation about the fight's legitimacy. As the dust settled, the boxing community was left grappling with the implications. If the fight was indeed staged, it would be a significant blow to the sport's integrity. On the other hand, if it was simply a case of mismatched expectations, it highlighted the risks of pitting a young, active fighter against a retired legend. In the wake of the fight-fixing allegations, Jake Paul's team, particularly his manager Nikisa Badarian, has been vocal in their defense. Badarian, co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions alongside Paul, has dismissed the rumors as baseless and absurd.
This was a regulated professional bout by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, the Texas Athletic Commission. And we were partners with Netflix, the biggest media company in the world, who's a public company. And for anyone to suggest that this was in any way a rigged fight, they're either dumb or they're looking for attention. And I get it, like putting up posts that, oh, proof it was rigged, this was rigged, that gets you good engagement. And a lot of people comment and a lot of people like and a lot of people share, and we're in an attention economy. People say outlandish things to bring awareness to themselves, but it's a sad state of society that's where people want to spend their time.
Jake Paul himself has addressed the skepticism surrounding his fights. He attributes his success to rigorous training and dedication, asserting that his victories are earned through hard work. Paul acknowledges that his unconventional path into boxing, transitioning from a YouTube personality to a professional fighter, invites scrutiny. However, he maintains that his commitment to the sport is genuine and that the outcomes of his matches are legitimate. The persistent rumors of fight fixing have undoubtedly impacted Paul's reputation. While his bouts attract significant attention and viewership, the cloud of skepticism lingers. Despite the controversies, Paul's team continues to push forward, planning future fights and promotional events. They aim to leverage Paul's popularity to bring new audiences to boxing, hoping to bridge the gap between mainstream entertainment and professional sports. However, the ongoing allegations present a significant hurdle, as they must continually defend the integrity of their events to maintain public trust.
I tried to give the fight the best fight I possibly could, but when someone's just surviving in the ring, basically, it's hard to make it exciting. So I couldn't really get him to engage me or slip shots and, you know, do something super cool or whatever, but I don't care about what people have to say. They're always going to have something to say, and that it is what it is.
Reports indicate that Jake Paul earned approximately $40 million, while Mike Tyson took home around $20 million. These figures underscore the lucrative nature of such high-profile bouts, even amid allegations of fight fixing. The financial success of the event can be attributed to several factors. First, the novelty of seeing a YouTuber turned boxer face off against a legendary fighter like Tyson drew significant attention. Second, the extensive promotional efforts, including viral training videos and heated press conferences, generated substantial buzz. Finally, the partnership with Netflix provided a global platform, reaching millions of viewers and contributing to the event's profitability. However, the financial gains come with potential consequences. The allegations of fight fixing have led to legal challenges, including a $50 million class action lawsuit against Netflix over streaming issues during the fight. If the lawsuit succeeds, it could result in significant financial penalties and damage to the reputations of those involved. Moreover, the controversy has sparked a broader debate about the integrity of boxing and the influence of entertainment-driven events. Traditional boxing purists argue that such matches undermine the sport's credibility, turning it into a spectacle rather than a legitimate competition. This sentiment could impact future opportunities for fighters like Jake Paul, as promoters and audiences may become more skeptical of similar events.
I want to know how much Mike Tyson got paid for that fight, because he gave his legacy away for Jake Paul to make a name for himself. Jake Paul wins against another old man. The most rigged thing I've seen in a long time. Bro, Mike Tyson got paid millions of pounds just to walk in every round. Land no punches, throw no punches, nothing. Just walk around. Oh my days, bro got paid millions for that. Fair play, fair play. Mike Tyson's the real winner here, because if you're fighting a 50-plus-year-old man, hyping it up and all that, then you be crazy. Now Jake Paul is gonna flex. Oh yeah, this is corrupt and rigged. Netflix, bro, their first ever big stream is the most rigged.
Despite these challenges, Jake Paul and his team appear undeterred. They continue to pursue high-profile matches with discussions of potential bouts against established fighters. However, the shadow of the recent controversy looms large, and future events will likely be scrutinized more closely by fans, media, and regulatory bodies. While the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul resulted in significant financial rewards, it also brought about serious allegations and legal challenges. The long-term implications for both fighters and the sport of boxing remain uncertain, as the balance between entertainment and athletic integrity continues to be a topic of intense debate. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.